Whispers in the walls. When Ethan and Claire moved into the old Victorian house at the edge of town, they thought they had found their dream home. The house was large, charmingly aged, and, most importantly, cheap. A steal, the realtor had called it. The only warning came from their new neighbor, an old man who lived alone next door. "Walls remember things," he muttered as he watched them move in. "This house, it's been listening for a long time." They laughed it off, but that night, the house listened. The first whisper, Claire heard it first, a faint whispering in the middle of the night. She woke up, thinking it was Ethan talking in his sleep, but when she turned to him, he was snoring lightly, dead to the world. The whispering came again, soft, almost like the wind sneaking through cracks in the walls, only there was no wind. She sat up, straining to hear. It was coming from inside the walls. The unseen voices. The next day, Ethan dismissed it. "Old houses creak," he said. "Pipes settle." But that night, he heard it too. A hushed, urgent whisper, words just out of reach of understanding. It was as if dozens of voices were murmuring at once, pressing against the walls from the inside. Claire tried to track the sound, pressing her ear to different parts of the house. It was everywhere. No matter where she stood, it felt like something was right behind her, breathing against the walls. Then, one night, the whispers, the cracks appear. The house began to change. Claire noticed the walls swelling and shifting, as if something inside was pressing to get out. Hairline cracks ran along the corridors, dark veins splitting through the wood. At night, they heard something scratching, slow, deliberate, like nails dragging along the inside of the walls. One evening, as Ethan leaned against the kitchen wall, whispering filled his ears. He turned, expecting to see Claire, but she was across the room, staring at him with wide eyes. "The walls," she said, "they're getting closer." The room had shrunk, the truth beneath the wallpaper. Determined to prove they weren't going insane, Ethan started peeling away the old wallpaper. Beneath it, there were names, hundreds of names, scratched, carved, some written in dried brown stains. At the center of it all, one sentence was etched deep into the wood. "We see you. We want out." The whispering grew louder. Then the walls moved. "The house awakens." That night, the walls breathed. They pulsed, expanding and contracting like lungs. The whispering turned to screaming. The cracks in the walls split open, revealing something beyond them, dark, wet, and filled with watching eyes. Ethan and Claire ran. But as they reached the front door, the walls collapsed inward, slamming shut behind them. The house had swallowed them whole,